Do you know the US dollar, the official currency of 27 countries, is the most traded currency in the world, with an average daily trading volume of over $5 trillion. The United States dollar, the world's dominant reserve currency, holds a unique position in the global financial landscape. Its influence extends far beyond American borders, shaping international trade, financial transactions, and economic stability. But how did this seemingly ordinary currency achieve such global prominence? The roots of the US dollar can be traced back to the colonial era when Spanish pesos, or pieces of eight, were widely used in trade. In 1775, the Continental Congress issued the first continental dollars to finance the Revolutionary War. These early dollars were poorly backed and quickly depreciated, earning them the nickname Continentals. The birth of the US dollar. In 1785, the Articles of Confederation gave Congress the power to regulate coinage, leading to the establishment of the United States Mint in 1792. The Coinage Act of 1792 established the dollar as the official currency of the United States, defining its value in gold and silver. Its foundation was based on the Spanish dollar, a widely accepted coin in circulation at the time. Shocking fact about this is that the first US dollar was minted in 1794 and featured Lady Liberty with flowing hair, a design that contrasted sharply with the more familiar image of her as a solemn figure with a crown. During the Civil War, the Union government faced financial difficulties and resorted to issuing large quantities of paper money, known as greenbacks. These greenbacks were not backed by gold or silver, but they were legal tender and helped finance the war effort. Shocking fact about this is, at that time, many believed these notes would become worthless. However, they remained in circulation, securing the dollar's place as a reliable currency. In 1879, the United States adopted the gold standard, where every dollar was backed by an equivalent amount of gold. This system provided a level of stability that made the dollar a trusted currency, both domestically and internationally. After World War II, the dollar's ascent to international prominence began as Europe lay in ruins, and the United States emerged as the world's economic powerhouse with a substantial share of global gold reserves. In 1944, at the Bretton Woods Conference, 44 allied nations agreed to peg their currencies to the dollar, which was itself exchangeable for gold at a fixed rate. This conference established a new global monetary system, with the US dollar as its linchpin. Under the Bretton Woods Agreement, the dollar was linked to gold, and other currencies were tied to the dollar, solidifying the dollar's position as the world's primary reserve currency. The dollar's pervasive influence extends far beyond its role as a means of payment. It reigns as the primary currency for international trade, facilitating approximately 60% of global trade settlements. Moreover, it holds sway over cross-border financial transactions, with over 60% of global foreign exchange reserves held in dollars. Further solidifying its global reach, the dollar served as a safe haven asset, drawing investors seeking refuge from volatile currencies and markets during times of economic turmoil. In 1971, President Richard Nixon, facing economic challenges and an oversupply of dollars abroad, took the US dollar off the gold standard. This marked the end of the Bretton Woods system and ushered in the era of fiat currencies, where money is not tied to physical assets. This decision, known as the Nixon shock, ushered in a new era of floating exchange rates. The world was stunned as the US unilaterally abandoned the gold standard, causing a crisis in the global financial system. This bold move reshaped the international monetary landscape. Petrodollars and the OPEC deal. The dollar's rise as an international currency continued with the petrodollar system. In the early 1970s, the US struck a deal with the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC, to price and trade oil exclusively in dollars. This arrangement created a global demand for the dollar and solidified its status as the primary global reserve currency. Shocking fact about this is that the deal with OPEC not only boosted the dollar's international status, but also led to the 1970s oil crisis, with skyrocketing oil prices causing chaos in the global economy. The dollar's resilience and global dominance. Despite the end of the gold standard, the US dollar has remained the world's dominant reserve currency. Its deep liquidity, large and stable economy, and strong financial markets have made it the preferred currency for international trade, investment, and central bank reserves. There are many shocking facts about dollar currency. 1. The US dollar is the official currency of 27 countries, which use it for various purposes, including trade, tourism, and as their legal tender. Some of these countries include Panama, El Salvador, and East Timor. 2. Approximately 60% of all foreign exchange transactions globally involve the US dollar. This immense share is a testament to the dollar's unrivaled position as the world's primary reserve currency. 3. Between 60% to 80% of global central bank reserves are held in U.S. dollars. These reserves are typically held in the form of U.S. Treasury securities, providing countries with a safe asset to back their own currency and manage exchange rate stability. 4. The U.S. dollar is the most traded currency in the world, with an average daily trading volume of over $5 trillion. The high trading volume of the U.S. dollar illustrates its liquidity and the role it plays in the global financial markets. 5. The U.S. dollar is not only the most traded currency, but also the most widely held foreign currency in the world, making it the de facto global currency for trade and investment. Despite of these facts, many dark events and facts are linked with this rise of dollar currency, which are 1. The Great Depression of the 1930s, partly attributed to the U.S. dollar's deflationary impact on global trade, saw a sharp reduction in international trade volumes as nations implemented protectionist policies and devalued their currencies. This exacerbated the economic downturn and contributed to a prolonged period of suffering. 2. The U.S. dollar's strength and dominance in global finance have been a point of contention, with critics arguing that it grants the United States disproportionate economic power and influence over the world economy. This influence is especially evident in international organizations like the International Monetary Fund, IMF, and the World Bank. 3. Dollarization. The practice of adopting the U.S. dollar as the official currency can make economies more susceptible to U.S. economic policies and external shocks. During the 2008 financial crisis, dollarized countries experienced a direct impact as their economies were closely tied to the performance of the U.S. financial system, causing them to face severe economic challenges. 4. The petrodollar system, where oil transactions are primarily denominated in U.S. dollars, has further entrenched the dollar's role in global trade and finance. This system, established in the 1970s, has reinforced the dollar's dominance and made it crucial for energy exporting countries to hold significant dollar reserves. 5. The phenomenon of quantitative easing by the Federal Reserve, which involves the creation of large sums of new money, has raised concerns among international observers. The resulting depreciation of the U.S. dollar can have significant implications for other countries, particularly those that have pegged their currency to the dollar or hold substantial dollar reserves. 6. The Bretton Woods system, once seen as a pillar of stability, collapsed in 1971 when the United States suspended gold convertibility, effectively severing the dollar's link to gold. This decision, driven by the economic pressures of the Vietnam War and rising global competition, led to a period of floating exchange rates. While this system offered greater flexibility, it also introduced volatility and uncertainty into global financial markets. Dollar as a weapon. The U.S. has occasionally used the dollar as a tool for political leverage, imposing sanctions and freezing assets of foreign governments and individuals. These actions have raised questions about the dollar's role as a global reserve currency and the potential consequences of weaponizing it. In 2014, the U.S. fined French bank BNP Paribas nearly $9 billion for violating U.S. sanctions. This incident highlighted the dollar's far-reaching influence and its use as a financial weapon. The dollar's future. The dollar's future remains uncertain, facing challenges from rising geopolitical tensions, the emergence of new economic powers, and technological advancements in the financial sector. The rise of China as a global economic powerhouse has prompted calls for a more diversified international monetary system, reducing the dollar's dominance. Additionally, the development of cryptocurrencies and other digital assets could potentially challenge the dollar's position as the world's primary reserve currency. Despite these challenges, the dollar is likely to retain its global prominence in the near term, supported by the United States' economic strength, deep financial markets, and the entrenched role of the dollar in international trade and finance. The dollar's journey from colonial currency to global reserve currency is a testament to the United States' economic and political power. However, its future is not without challenges, as new economic powers emerge and technological advancements reshape the financial landscape. The dollar's continued dominance will depend on its ability to adapt to these changes and maintain its role as a pillar of global financial stability.